no strangers to love.
Welcome to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I'm happy to be here with you today to speak Ojibwe and learn about the language and culture.
Okay. What? That's some entrance. You like my teleportation entrance? I love it. Welcome to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. I am NANABOOZHOO. And over here, the lovely and the talented Weenie Mushane, my sweetheart. What's your name? Natasha, silly. Natasha, silly. Say hello, Natasha, silly. Bonjour, Gakina Ina. Hello, everyone. How you doing, baby? I'm doing great. How are you? I'm doing great. And over here in this corner, the rock star cartoonist, Michael Lyons. Ikadon BOOZHOO Niji. Say hello, brother. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. And today, we got a great show planned for today, huh, sweetie? We're going to teach the Ojibwe word of the day, and we're going to tell some stories and play some music. And what's so special about it? I don't know. You got to say that, though, when you start out. You want people to tune in. Boy, do we have a great show planned. Did we plan anything? I didn't plan anything. Did you plan anything? I got a couple of things. Let's say hi to some of the BOOZHOO crew. Brian is here, sweetie. Well, BOOZHOO, Brian. Hey, it's a soul man. He's a soul man. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Got what he got. Ruby's here. BOOZHOO, Ruby. Hey, Ruby. Mino Giga Jabe. Good morning. And Indigay Biz. Oh, wow. BOOZHOO Indigay Biz. I think that's a new person. Well, good morning, Indigay Biz. And today, on this Friday, the 5th day of the week, Nano Gija Good. I think it's important that we discuss we're no strangers to love, huh, sweetie? It's just like Greta said. Yeah. We know a thing or two about love by now. You could say I'm an expert. She's an expert. We're no strangers to love. You know that do so do I just want to tell you how I'm feeling. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling, sweetie. How you feeling? With my hands. Hey, you better watch your mouth, mister. That's harassment in the workplace. Oh, sorry. I don't want to sexually harass my sweetheart and in the workplace. Well, who am I? Everybody in Hollywood. Oh no. Hashtag me too. Here's a joke that got Owen Benjamin kicked off of Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. It came out during, remember hashtag me too? Yeah, of course, the Me Too movement. Yeah. Some of you younger kids may not remember, but a few years ago, before there was the COVID outbreak, or at least the story of a pandemic, everybody was concerned about sexually harassed movie stars. And all these movie stars are coming out going, what? You had to sleep with Harvey Weinstein 3 times to get a movie role too, Gwyneth Paltrow? Yeah, me too. Hashtag me too. And everyone was like, yeah, don't joke about that. That's a real problem. Won't somebody think of the movie stars? And so Owen Benjamin comes out. He goes, I grew up in the 80s, and on telephones, that hashtag, we called it the pound symbol. And so when hashtag Me Too first came out, I thought it was like, hey, pound me too. I was like, hey, take it easy, lady. You know, but that was totally like, the timing was off. I mean, now that's not even that bad of a joke, but it got him canceled. Brian says, thanks for the Soul Man intro, Natasha. Hey, you got it, Soul Man. He's got what he got. The hard way. The Soul Man. Indigi biz. I'm in the Indigi biz. I'm in the Indian biz. I'm in the talk Indian biz. Anybody out there have a grandparent who would never call it the Ojibwe language? He would just say, you know how you say that in Indian, don't you? Oh, in Indian, Grandpa? What's the Indian word for coffee? Well, they call that black medicine water. Makere mashkiki wabu. Or makere mashkiki wabu. But, yeah. I just want to tell you what I'm feeling. And what I'm feeling? What's that? I'm feeling a little protective of poor little Greta Thunberg. Really? Yep. I've talked about this before. I mean, people probably think I put up that Greta clip to mock her or something, because I'm a total not on board with the climate change hysteria at all. Because I live in perpetual winter. I'm not worried about global warming or any of that. But I'm not mocking her. I actually... I have a fatherly kind of protective feeling for her. She reminds me of my Norwegian nieces. Yeah. But, you know, she's been hanging out with that creep Leonardo DiCaprio. Hashtag me too, you know. And Leonardo DiCaprio is famous for just going through young girls one after another. He dates a supermodel until she turns about 21, and then he throws her out, and he gets a younger one, and whatever. And he's always, you know, crying on about the environment. I don't know, traveling the world in his SUVs and private jets and multiple homes and yachts, so he can do something about environmental impact that people like us are having on the world. And, you know, and he's a movie star, so Greta's all like, you know, she wants to go see that guy from Titanic, you know, she's just a kid. But Greta, I beg you, you gotta... And I know her parents aren't looking out for her best interest. What do you mean? Well, number one, they pull her out of school to tour the world. And they just exploit her. You know, she doesn't know what she's doing. So nobody's, you know, watching out for Greta, except me. Greta, listen to your old uncle, Nanaboozhoo. That Leonardo DiCaprio is a creep. And he's riddled with... I mean, you're probably old enough for me to talk about these things, but I don't want to talk about, you know... Sesame Street is not brought to you today by the letters S, T, and D, if you get my drift. You know... Let's just say the letters today in regards to Mr. DiCaprio are S, T, and D. You know, he's not married. He has no respect for the sanctity of marriage. He's just a creep. So stay away from him. Get back in school. It's not too late. You can get a GED or something. And, you know, maybe you should think about... You know, getting out there and finding a nice man to settle down with. But she's too young. No, she's not. She's like 18 or 19 now. Back in the day, that'd be marrying age. On a Dane Damo in respect. Today I want to talk about my respect for Windigane Ediwin. For the sacred sanctity of marriage. But how come, if you respect marriage so much, how come we're not married? Just haven't gotten around to it yet, sweetie. It's on the to-do list, but I put it on a back burner for now. I can't afford a diamond ring. You don't have to buy me a diamond ring. No. I must first have enough money to buy a diamond ring before I'll have a... we got to get engaged first. No, we don't. That's not the Indian way. Sure it is. Asho windige iwag. They are engaged. Before you get married, first come... Okay, here's an old joke. Here's an old dad joke. If Wally Bear was here, he'd appreciate it. Hey, Ruby's here. Bonjour, Ruby. Hey, Ruby. Jim Dunn's here. He'll get this. This is an old joke that Benny Tontz told me once. We were talking about marriage. Benny Tontz was an old... when I knew him, he was old. He wasn't old his whole life. But he lived to be very old. And when I was chumming around with him, he was in his 80s. And he taught drumming and Ojibwe language at the tribal college in Leech Lake. Or in Cass Lake, on Leech Lake. How can they say on the reservation but in a town? I don't know. You know, I was on the town of Cass Lake. You're in Cass Lake on the Leech Lake reservation. Oh, anyway. So he goes, there are 3 rings of suffering. I screwed it up. There are 3 rings in marriage. You get your engagement ring, and then the second one is the wedding ring, and then finally, the suffering. But I blew that joke with the punchline. Yeah, you rocked it. Sorry, Benny. I tried to tell your story, but I'm not as good of a joke teller as you were. Benny made his journey years ago now. So. Asho windige iwag. They are engaged. And then we came up with a new thing. I don't know when this happened. I think this is a colonized practice. After the Indians all got colonized and turned into the European way of thinking, some of our marriages would end in divorce. And you'd say, way binigay, or way binadi, I can't even say this. Binadiwag. Way binadiwag. They divorce each other. Way binadiwag. But I don't know. I suspect that we didn't have divorce in the good old days. Really? Yeah. Number one, we didn't have judges. And we didn't have as many possessions. And, marriage was sacred. And not just to Anishinaabe people, it's sacred to the European Christians. It is I don't know which is more sacred, the funeral or the wedding ceremony to a church. Those are the 2 really most important functions a church has, is hooking up people and burying people. In some ways, they're kind of similar. How so? You get married and then you might as well be dead. No, I'm just kidding. But yesterday we started talking about marriage, and I realized I do have kind of a healthy respect for marriage. Even though my best friend is a MGTOW. Yeah, no kidding. And I respect the bachelor life. Yeah. Michael Lyons is a bachelor. He's never been married, and he's never been divorced. He's a man going his own way. Bachelor. But, I don't know how you feel, but I, for one, actually respect marriage. Not that, I respect it so much that I'm not just going to jump into it. I barely know you. You know me. But yesterday when we were talking about marriage, I was wanting to talk to the kids about respect. Manadainda moen. Respect doesn't just mean you like something. You can respect the fire, you know. Ishkode, you have to have respect for fire. If you treat it well, if you understand it, and you know that it can burn you, but it can also warm you, it can save your life, or it can kill you. You have to respect a, you know, when we say, oh yeah, the Anishinaabe, they respect nature. It's like, yeah, we respect nature and animals, not meaning we love all nature and animals. It's like, no, we respect that this could be very dangerous to us. It could be very, you know, you got to show respect to a wild animal. That doesn't mean that you make the wild animal your boss. It means you pay attention, you don't take it for granted, you don't turn your back on it, don't poke at it, don't tease it. Show respect. Because you could get hurt. But then I was also thinking about what you know, when single guys get tempted to, you know, teepee creep around to the married lady's place when her man's out of town, you know. Why are you looking at me? Well, you know, because you're single. That's the only reason. But we got a real problem with people who don't respect other marriages and their own. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Men who have no respect for their own marriage. And including their wives when they step out on them. When they go to a strip club. When they're, you know, surfing the internet. And even their wives might go, oh no, that's not cheating. It's like, yeah, well, it's disrespectful. Because it's being careless with marriage. And yesterday we were talking about how I go, okay, fellas, I know there's, because I've had these conversations. There might be a married woman sniffing around, and you're thinking, well, look, that's her problem. I didn't make any kind of marriage vow. I didn't promise to be faithful or true to anyone. I'm not, you know. And your buddies go, yeah, man, snag her. You know? You're not doing anything wrong. You're morally upright. And I thought, I was like, no. You got to respect it, not just because society says, oh, yeah, these are the rules. She's off limits. Didn't you see her diamond ring? You know. But marriage isn't just those two people. It's also both of their ancestors, both their lines of ancestry. Yeah, no kidding. You know, history will record, you know, so-and-so begat so-and-so, and then he hooked up with her so-and-so, and they had so-and-so. You got a whole line of ancestors and everybody looking down. I mean, they're taking the marriage seriously. You know, the long line of your family. And then all your descendants. You know, in time, they used to say Anishinaabe people would plan for 7 generations. Well, think about, you go in, you disrupt a marriage. You don't show it any respect, and you hook up with a married lady, and maybe you never even get found out. Well, you're still probably going to get burned somehow. Karma will catch up with you. The Creator is going to smack you on the hand. I don't know what's he going to do. But, you know, good marriage, good families, they'll make a good world, you know. But if you start playing around, if you don't show any respect for marriage, it's like not showing any respect for fire. Ishkode. You're going to get burned, and you might burn down the whole house. So that's my 2 cents. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Yeah. So what do you think about gay marriage? Oh. You're not going to get me to talk about that right now. Oh, come on. Why don't you weigh in? I voted for it. Yeah. You know, of course. But here's the thing with the Christians and the problem people had with gay marriage before it got legalized and mainstreamed. They never said, no, we can't let them get married. There'll be too much sodomy. It wasn't that. They said, no, the word marriage is between a man and a woman. It's a religious thing. It's not just commitment to a person. You know, it's different than, having a partnership in a business. But, frankly, I could care less. I'm all for gay marriage. Marry up. It'd be nice if, people were monogamous. But people have such little respect for marriage now. Married people, Christians, gay people, everybody. That who cares? If it's so easy to get divorced. I mean, it's painful and expensive and messy and whatever, but there's no shame in it. People recommend divorce most of the time. And nobody expects you to keep your promise. The problem with marriage now, sweetie, the way I see it, is that it's kind of, it's made people feel no longer care, don't take seriously pledges and oaths. The marriage oath is really the only oath that modern people take. They go, I promise to me and to this woman here and to my family and her family and to God and to the whole community, I will never betray this person. I will never leave her side. I will take care of her in sickness, health, until death. I promise. Put my hand on the Bible. And 2 years later, they get divorced and like, oh, too bad. Whatever. I'm sure the kids are just as good. It makes no difference in the development of their children, whether or not they stay together. Have fun. Go get divorced. Yeah, that's great. Go get married again. Try it again and again and again and again. Or don't. Who cares? It's just a piece of paper. Well, it's not supposed to just be a piece of paper. I mean, your college degree is just a piece of paper, all right? Mr. BOOZHOO, could we get a Serenity Prayer for today? For those of us who need it. I've got 53 days clean today. You got it, buddy. Wow. Brian Souls is 53 days in. Well done, Niji. That is no small accomplishment. Yeah, man. Let's go out to the, can you teleport me out to the, that beautiful meadow, flowery meadow? Well, sure. I'm going to go out and we're going to do the Serenity Prayer for Brian Souls and for anybody who's given up the drink. I gave up the drink too. And boy, you miss it sometimes. But everybody, whoever quits, whether it's drugs or alcohol or smoking or lose a bunch of weight, nobody ever regrets it. They never say, you know what? Yeah, I got sober and it's been 10 years now, but boy, that was the dumbest thing I ever did. I sure wish I had kept drinking. That could have helped my life. So, you ready? Yep, I got it. I'm ready. All right, 1 to teleport. Make it so, number 1. Oh, yeah, this is more like it. So, for any kids or people who haven't been around as long as, Brian Souls and me, some of the old timers like Jim Dunn, you might not know about the Serenity Prayer. Serenity is another word for peace. Bungan. Peace, serenity, The problem with drinking and the lifestyle that comes with drinking is it robs you of your peace. It gives you a momentary, 20 minutes of fake smile on your face, a calming, and a feeling like, hey, if I just keep drinking, I'll keep getting happier. But it's impossible. Then your life, And so, Ogijida means warrior. And sometimes I've kind of gone off saying, we got to quit saying Ogijida for people who didn't actually go to war. My grandpa was an Ogijida. He fought in a war, meaning he killed people with a machine gun. That's a real Ogijida. It's because you go to college doesn't make you an Ogijida. But I think sometimes if you face your problems, you are a Ogijida. And it takes a warrior to fight for your life. That's what it is. You're a warrior if you're fighting for your life. Whether it's to get sober, to overcome depression, to overcome anxiety, to lose weight, to change your life, Maybe you need to get a divorce, actually. Or finally break up with that guy. When you got a battle for something that serious, there's things in your life that might be killing you, trying to kill you, trying to murder you. That's what drinking is like. If you're an alcoholic, you really are fighting for your life. So it's no joke. So today I'm going to say a prayer in Ojibwe. It's called the Serenity Prayer. In English, it goes, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Gichimanadu, Odapanan Niwia Sema. Great Spirit, accept my tobacco. Gichimanadu, Dagawi Duka Wishin, Weweni Ji, Nana Gudo Wendaman, Geodapanaman, Inu, Gegashki Katosiwan, Ji Anji Saduyan, Jide Apachide Eyan, Ji Anji Saduyan, Gegashki Katoyan, Jide Apachi Nabuakayan, Jikendaman Ono. Ape Inge. Amen. I kind of want to hang out here now. I don't even feel like going back. It's so pretty out here. Until, of course, you realize, computer, end program, boop, 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 that it was just a holodeck. Oh, what an illusion life is. I got that tobacco's piling up down there. But yeah, I mean, it's still a prayer. But, yeah. Hello, BOOZHOO. Hi, sweetie. Hi, NANABOOZHOO. You ready to come back? Yeah, would you teleport me back? Okay. When to teleport? Make it so, number one. Hey, baby doll. Hey, sweetie pie. How is it in the holodeck? Beautiful, of course. It was a meadowy, like mid-June, perfect. I didn't even want to come back. It's still full on winter, and Bemidji. Yeah, in Bemidji. MJ Schuler says, Brian Souls, good for you. You have my blessings. MJ's back. Hey, MJ. Hey, Mary Jane. I'm assuming it's Mary Jane, like on Spider-Man. Yeah. And Surrealist. Boozhoo Surrealist. Mino Giga Jeb. She says, what can float a ship can also sink it. Exactly. You got to respect the sea. That doesn't mean you've got to worship the sea, but it's dangerous. It's vast. That's what marriage is like. You know. And that's what I think, you know, that when it comes down to it, we sometimes forget, what does it mean to live respectfully? It's like, oh, the Native American man, he respects nature. It's like, yeah, meaning all of it. I respect cities. I respect a dangerous part of cities. There is such a thing. You know, we all can sense it. You go, well, you're racist. You don't feel comfortable down here? Like, no, I respect Compton or wherever. I mean, Minneapolis, you know. I respect that place. I don't like it. I'd rather not be there. But I respect it because it's dangerous. Dangerous. You know. Self-discipline is the Okichida way. That's what I'm saying. Self-discipline, sweetie. Yeah. Brian says, thanks, crew. Your encouragement means a lot. Well, 53 days is no small feat. You got over probably the worst of it. But now the sneaky part is the relapse. There's an insidious, you know, when you first quit something, you know, you're all fired up and you got all this power. But it's 54 days in when that spirit comes back. A little snake comes down out the branch, whispers into your ear, hey, come on, it's just one beer. You just went 53 days. You're not even alcoholic anymore. Now you can drink reasonably. Don't listen to him. But yeah, way to go, Brian. That's great. And you know what else? It's great for everybody else. I heard, and this was true in my life, that a lot of artists really, their careers take off right after they finally quit drinking. You know, they finally get that publisher deal, or they get a high profile public gig, you know, an art show or something. Sometimes it was actually the beer that was holding you back. And you feel like, well, I couldn't sing without 2 beers or whatever. I get nervous, so I just wanted to. And it's when you quit, you know, like, that power comes. I've heard it said too, sweetie. Have you ever heard this? What's that? That if you take one step in the right direction, a creator will meet you more than halfway. Yeah, I've heard that. You know, you don't have to make it to the finish line. You just got to make progress. And then the blessings are going to come racing towards you. You know, Kichimanadu just wants to see you make an effort. He's not going to make you have to take the whole journey without any help. You know, Christians, when I was growing up, there's a lot of these old ladies would have this framed poem on their walls there. You go walking down a trailer and hallway and you look up there and there's footprints in the sand. You ever see that? Oh, of course. And it's a story, it's a Bible verse. I think it's a poem. Where a guy goes to heaven and he's like talking about his life or something. And he's seeing the footprints in the sand where he was walking side by side with Jesus. And then he saw the time when it was the hardest time in his life. And he goes, Jesus, there's only 2 footprints. Why did you leave me during that hardest time? What's the matter? Nothing. Just choking myself up. Don't do it. It's mornings, man. No, I'm fine. And then Jesus said, well, that's when I carried you. You just bummed yourself out. I did, didn't I? That's so stupid. Don't do it. I know. Sorry. Anyway, but he goes, that's when I carried you. I was going to mock all those old ladies and their stupid footprints in the sand poem. And then when I thought about it, it brought a tear to my eye. Sequoia Hummingbird. Good morning, all. Had to drive to town for reception, but glad to be here with you. It's nice to have you back, Sequoia. I'm just making myself cry with memories of wall hangings. Oh, that's when I carried you in my arms, my child. But enough of that. I think what's important to talk about, sweetie. What's that? Smoke signals. The movie? Yep. Smoke signals is about marriage and divorce and hooking up. Is it really? Yeah. If you were to judge Smoke Signals just by the cover, you'd have to assume it was a movie about... How many of you can even name the character that Irene Bedard played? Yeah, I'll give you a minute. Her name was Susie Song. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Unimportant character in the movie. But, look at her. So, Hollywood, hashtag Me Too, was like, well, we want people to come see our movie, so make sure you put that one broad front and center on the cover. I like looking at pretty women. Hashtag Me Too. So after sleeping with Harvey Weinstein, Irene Bedard. No, don't say that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he had anything to do with this movie. But in this movie, minor B story is that the married couple, they get into a fight, and Victor's dad abandons them. Just leaves them. There's a legacy there, And he moves to Phoenix, Arizona, and dies. After snagging Irene Bedard somehow. Gary Farmer at 70 and 370 pounds snags, Pocahontas herself, somehow. And you just gotta suspend disbelief. But, so, Susie's Song is what this movie should be called. But it's actually Smoke Signals. But that's not really what I wanted to talk about, sweetie. No. No. Do you want to take a call? Sure, I'll take a call. On line 2. Line 2. Hello, caller. Welcome to the BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO podcast. You're on the air. NANABOOZHOO. It is I, the Count Von Count. Hey, Count, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing very well indeed. But I cry. Why do you cry? Because I am not married. I walk this earth so alone, and all I want is to find my one true love. That was kind of a laugh cry. Can't find a wife? Can't find an old lady? No, I am 500 years old, and in all this time, I have never been able to finally settle down with my one true love. What do you think is the problem? Well, I don't know. I have it all. I have a good job. I have fancy clothes and a long goatee. How could a woman resist me? Well, you're short-sighted or nearsighted in one eye. That's kind of creepy. No, women find that very, very, it makes me distinguished. Yeah, okay. Let me ask you this. Yes, if you can help me, ask me anything. Do you give girls hickeys? I love to give the hickey. One hickey. Two hickeys. And she dies. What? Well, when I give hickeys, they turn into vampires. They become undead. Well, maybe that's your problem. You keep on turning your... You gotta lay off on the hickeys, not with those fangs. And hickeys are gross. Come on, what are you, trashy? No, it is our cultural way of marking territory. Yeah, I know. Have you ever had a hickey? Absolutely not. Have you? I refuse to answer that. Hashtag me too, Count. Hey! Yeah, hickeys used to be a thing, by the way, when I was in junior high. If you're a grown-up still getting hickeys, that's just... Anyway. So, well, I don't know what to tell you, Count. You got any friends you could set the count up with? I'll have to think about it. Not sure how many I want to turn into vampires. Yeah, that might be the problem right there. You need to find yourself another vampire. Aren't there any vampire women? Well, there's the Queen of England. Yeah, why don't you hook up with the Queen? No, she's too old and gross. I can't help it, Count. Look, listen, I gotta go. No, wait. Nanaboozhoo. I implore you. What is the Ojibwe word for Friday? For Friday? We call it Nano-Geezha Good. It's the 5th day. For Friday. Nano-Geezha Good. 5th day. I love to count the days. Yeah, I bet you do. Listen, man, I better get going. Here, I'll teach you one more phrase. Yes, teach me an Ojibwe phrase. We don't say goodbye in our way. We always say, I will see you again. Gi gawabamin minowa. Gi gawabamin minowa. Count Von Count. Yeah, I just learned that was his real name. Yeah, I always thought his name was just The Count. But apparently Sesame Street named him Count Von Count. So his last name's Von Count, and he's yeah, actually he could date the Queen of England. Isn't she married? I don't know. How come the Queen of England's husband isn't the King of England? I don't know. I don't really pay attention. I don't really either. I thought she was pivotal because she revealed the guilt that the dad had to live with every single day he was there at the scene of the crime, and his love for his family that never faded. What are these guys talking about? I have never watched it. What? Oh, you guys talking about smoke signals? I thought she was pivotal. Oh, she's talking about Susie's song. She revealed the guilt that the dad had. Yeah, she had to tell them that her dad felt guilty. That's true. And his love for his family that never faded. That's what we're supposed to believe. And that's what I always kind of, in the movie, when finally, that one, the famous line is always, "Hey, Victor, where's your dad? Why did he leave you?" In the end, Victor finally answers, he didn't mean to. But I don't know. I almost feel like Sherman Alexie let the dad off the hook too easy. He had all those years to return. A pickup was still running. He built a life for himself and had enough love still for new women. Oh, they kept each other's secrets, like he's already married with a family. And Susie's strong. You have no respect. Or song. Strong. That's a name up here, actually. Is she from the Strong family in Red Lake? He shot the flare into the house that started the deadly fire. That's right. Victor's dad was responsible for the death of Thomas Builds a Fire, his parents, because he was drunk. Yeah, and he had told her the story. Is that how Victor found out? Yeah, you're right, actually. Susie becomes kind of the narrator for the story and reveals all the stuff the characters, the living characters now, needed to know for closure. I still say she's too good looking. I can't hold that against her. Smoke signals, smoke your signals. La-di-da-di. Hey, Missy's here. BOOZHOO, cuz. How's it going, cuz? She says, awesome movie. Yeah, it's pretty good, huh? I think this summer we might have to do and they might just take it down. I don't know how this works. Why can we see people make movie reviews? Why was there such a thing? You can watch an old Mystery Science Theater 2000 where they sit in front of an old movie and just make cracks. I kind of want to do that with Smoke Signals or Dances with Wolves or something. But I'm afraid YouTube will take it down. It seems like that should be under fair use or something. Yeah. I mean, you can actually watch movies on YouTube sometimes. So I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. It'd be fun to just watch it with the BOOZHOO crew. Let's see what else we got going on here, sweetie. Before I let you get up here. Have I been talking for 47 minutes already? I think you have. Oh, for crying out loud. I didn't even talk about anything. All right, so here's a song that Michael wrote and we sang called Emily. Why'd you call this song Emily? Because I've always loved that name. Really? It's not based on some woman you dated and broke up with? No, it's a made-up name. Emily. That is a pretty name. If we have a kid, let's name her Emily. All right. The song is called Emily. Thank you for listening. Miigwech bizendawieg.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check, 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 check 1 2, check 1 2. It's just seeing how well the audio. Let's see, how do you want to do this?
Emily's got one crazy eye. She looks to the west and she looks to the sky. Don't ask how she sees when she looks. She's watching you and me.
Do you want to look at some gibberish?
And Emily knows something about blow. Dizzy white snow finds its way up her nose.
Hey, Grandma. What is it, honey? Have you seen my coat? Did you check the closet? Did I check the closet? Oh no, I was looking in the fridge here. Thanks. What a good tip. Oh, here is this. Never mind.
I can only say that I've seen better days, and this is my mistake, and I'll get only what I take.
Well, I've decided to quit the show. You're quitting the show? Why? Well, I just figured it was time, Sometimes a man's just gotta do what a man's gotta do, right? You understand, don't you? No. Well, I'm sorry, Natasha, but I gotta do this. But I'm gonna miss you. I know. I'm gonna miss you too.
This is the best I could do with what I had and all I knew, and we will fight all night. I don't see how we got here now, and this is all I have, and now it's all I have to give. But I can only say that I've seen better days. This is my mistake, and I'll get only what I take. Maybe tomorrow, or maybe tomorrow, or maybe tomorrow, or maybe tomorrow.
I don't know, you got anything you want to add to this?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess. So, just want to remind everyone, if you want to support this show financially, you can send us a PayPal, buy us a cup of makere mush, kiki wabu, buy us a cup of coffee, or we have a Patreon page where people, sign up monthly, and if you sign up on Patreon, we'll send you a book, like Snow on Skin, or, just come over to YouTube and subscribe. We got a lot of fun stuff over there too. Alright. I don't know, I guess that's all I had to say.
Okay. Alright. Well, let's just wrap it up then.
Okay.
BOOZHOO! How you doing? Natasha, in addition to Kaz. Natasha is my name. Yeah. I wanted to get in on some of this flowery meadow action. I halfway expect to see Laura and Carrie and Laura's big sister, whatever her name was, to come running down in a little house on a prairie hill. What was Laura's Ingalls sister's name? She went blind in the end. Doesn't matter. Asema. Gichimanadu. Takawi duka wishin minaway noongum. Help me to speak well today. La la la. Mikwech kaishi kakina geku kaishi chikeyan noongum. Thank you for everything that you do today. Mikwech kaishi way back. Thank you for the weather. Mikwech ka surrealist. and her super chats. We really appreciate her. I think it's a her, but me quetch. Thank you for the people who support the show. Thank you for the Junia, the money. Thank you for just providing for us. Thank you for healing my body. Thank you for Gagige Niya, healing my body. Mikwech Kaishi Gagige Gashgain Moen. Thank you for healing my grief. Because that's what it is when you have grief, when somebody dies or whatever, if you went through a rough time. You gotta put out some tobacco and ask the Creator to heal your heart. Gitte, your heart. Ninde, my heart. My grandma used to say I was her heart. And sometimes your heart breaks. And I think a lot of us at some point have fallen apart. Our heart breaks and our lives fall apart. There's a character on Smoke Signals called Lester Falls Apart. And I think that's not just talking about like when your car falls apart or whatever. It's when your life, your body, your heart, things fall apart. In fact, I read a book once called Things Fall Apart. It was by this Buddhist monk. What was her name? Pema Chodron, I think. And she was talking about, sometimes things fall apart. Sometimes there's no more rationalizing, no more faking it, no more pretending everything's fine. Sooner or later, if you're a human being, it can catch up with you. And she said, when the, Muan really hits the fan, it can be like you're groundless. You have no firm foundation to sit on or to stand on. It's like there's, they say that it's like the floor went out from underneath me. And you just can't, you just go, yep, here I am. I've fallen into the abyss. I'm depressed. I've fallen apart. I'm going down. I'm underwater. I can't keep afloat. We have all these terms, like when you go broke. I'm broke. I fell apart. Now I'm broke. I'm underwater. I just need to get afloat, But I think that's where I learned, she says, if you're going under, if you're underwater and you're struggling and life is tough, pray that you get to the bottom quickly. Soul Man might already know this, but sometimes for the drunk, there is that moment of clarity or whatever where you just hit rock bottom, and there's nothing else you can do except to pray out, please grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. But she says, pray you get to the bottom, because then that's where you have firm foundation to push off. Get your feet on the ground. No, hey, welcome to hell. Now, how do you get out of it? You got to push off. You got to fight for your right to not be so depressed. You got to fight. But I've heard it said, if you're depressed, if you're sad or anxious and worried, if you're in grief, you have to be a Nokichida. Again, like, what did Sharila say? The warrior's way or something? What am I looking at? I'm not even, I'm on beautiful nature. But somebody said something about how, something was the warrior's way, but struggling. Oh, when you're depressed or trying to sober up or whatever it is. In fact, it's not even about trying. I think it was Yoda who said something like, either do or don't do. There is no try. And so when you decide, okay, I'm not going to try to work out myself. I'm not going to try to find happiness. It's like, no, I'm going to become happy. I am going to overcome this depression by becoming happy. Make a plan. Get serious. And get that Okichita Manadu. Get that warrior spirit. You're fighting you're literally fighting for your life. And so you make a plan. And you ask yourself, okay, what's it really like? Take a minute. Don't just constantly be putting out fires. Take a minute and go, all right, what's it really like? I don't have enough money. Nobody loves me. I'm fat. I'm ugly. I hate my job. I'm always afraid of losing this job that I hate. Nothing's ever worked out. I can't stop thinking about that traumatic thing that happened in my childhood. I'm haunted by trauma. I got post-traumatic stress just from growing up. But don't make it worse than it is. Be honest about all of it. Okay? Are you really broke? Yes, I have $5. Well, you have $5. You have a job. Whatever. But yeah, that warrior spirit then makes a plan to battle and to win. And so then you say to yourself, okay, well, what would I like it to be like? You know, I don't have any money. All right. Is there a way to get money? Get serious. Write down all the options. I could rob a bank. I could talk to my grandma. I could get a second job. I could sell my bike. I could, make a plan. Write it down. And you say, oh, nobody loves me. Really? What about your grandma? What about your high school buddy? What about your cat? What about your cousin? You better start looking around. Are you truly nobody loves you? Or is it none of the hot girls love you? Well, how can you change that? It might be time to start doing some push-ups. It might be time to say no to the ice cream. Women are just as shallow as men. If you want a woman who doesn't have a beer gut, you got to get rid of your beer gut too. So then you make a plan and you start working. But I think it was Joe Jackson, the 80s singer, piano player, said, you can't get what you want till you know what you want. And you can't get what you need till you know what you need. What do you really want? What do you want your life to look like? What kind of a person do you want to be? Most of us, we just want to be our authentic self. We just want to be who we really are and our potential. We want to be ourselves at our best. And a lot of us, if you're unhappy, it's because you're yourself, but at your worst. But then you make a list and you follow that, what I never pull up, but that medicine wheel. What's your health like? Address it. What can be done? You're smart. You don't need to go keep researching YouTube videos. How to become thin. So you make your own plan. You know how to do it. How to make more money. Get practical. Get creative. But then there's also like the spiritual side. Like that footprint in the sand that choked up NanaBOOZHOO earlier. It's okay to rely on the Creator. He will carry you through. Have some faith. It's kind of like, the old thing is they take 1 or 2 steps in the right direction and Gitchi Manadu will meet you. when a person starts to lose weight, you can see it in their face and in their clothes and stuff. A 300-pound person can drop to 270. And suddenly they're throwing away their sweatpants and that big old hockey jersey and all this stuff, and they're wearing like fitting clothes, and their confidence goes up, and you feel like you're really good looking because you started to make progress. And like if somebody told you, okay, yeah, you're all overweight and you got no money and you can't pick up anybody at the bars. You're too ugly. You're ugly, broke, and sad. But I guarantee that in, 18 months, in a year and a half, you'll have $5,000 in your bank account. You're going to be in a perfect weight for your height. And you're going to be totally in love with somebody and in a great relationship in 18 months. You would suddenly go, oh, really? Oh, good. Well, now I feel less depressed if I know it's just for now. So get in your head, like who you want to be exactly, write it down. How are you going to get there? Well, looks like I'm going to start walking every morning. Going to walk around the big block. I'm going to walk 2 miles every morning. Times, 18 months. And sure enough, you can work things out. And then, even before you get to, that super sweet body and all this money and the job opportunities, Creator's going to bless you with what'll seem like coincidences. It'll seem, I just started walking one day, and then I met this other person who was walking too, and then we started talking. And even way before you thought what it would take to get happy, stuff will start happening. Because Creator wants to see you're going to put in some effort. He's not going to make you take the whole journey by yourself. He'll pick you up and carry you through it. You're going to be all right. Anyway, I think I started this as a prayer. Gijimanadu, miigwech Bisandawi, thank you for listening. Gay. Amen. Well, yeah. I guess I'll go back.
Okay, hey, BOOZHOO.
Hi, sweetie.
Ready to come home?
Yeah.
All right, hang on. I'm going to lock in on your coordinates.
Okay.
1 to teleport.
Make it so, number 1. No. Hey there.
Hey. What's wrong with your voice?
Nothing. I just laughed in your voice for some reason. Should we call it a show?
Yeah, it's about good.
All right. Hey, everybody. Did you want to add anything?
Will you remind them of the books?
Oh, sure. Michael Lyons has books for sale on Amazon.com. Books like a coloring book and Ojibwe. An English Ojibwe coloring book. And this book is really cool. Let me see if I can find the thingy. There we go. It's more for coloring than learning Ojibwe. But there's Ojibwe words and phrases. You can learn some, oh my gosh, it's a fox. And he's got other books for sale and comics. Just click the links below. We also have links to Patreon and PayPal and GoFundMe. Should I start talking about the live show yet?
Nah, let's just wait until next month.
Okay. We got a live gig coming up, but we're not going to start promoting it so early. Anyway. La 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 la. I see 11 likes, Missy. Is Missy bullying people to like the show again?
Yeah.
There's a couple of people do that. Hey, everyone, put your thumbs in the air. You like the show? So anyway, yeah. But more than anything, what I really want you to know is that how much we appreciate you listening. Thank you so much for listening. Miigwech bizendawieg. Dash miigwech ganawabieg. Thank you for watching BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha. This over here is NANABOOZHOO. Okay, miigwech. This over here is Michael Lyons. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow. And I will see you again. Gigawa bamin. Minawa. Hawa. Sweetie, will you teleport me? You got it. See you tomorrow. 1 to teleport. Make it so, sweetie pie. See you tomorrow.